So imagine Darcy Ground. The ball's not getting kicked; it's getting past him, and Cam Dickey's come out and pow. You know that
it was a CrossFit. It was a CrossFit.
Yeah, I know, but let's say it was.
Oh right, yeah.
You know that scene from Meet the Fockers where he
spike him. You gotta spike those fucker. You gotta spike those fucker. and he breaks that chick's just before her wedding. Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
it's like
let's say he's had a Meet the Fockers moment, and it was a pass, and he spiked it. That's a penalty try. Am I right?
This week's Offload episode is brought to you by Erwin Mitchell, the official legal partner of England Rugby, supporting the England team throughout the Six Nations. The Erwin Mitchell Mentoring Club is supporting grassroots rugby by developing a community of mentors to help 35,000 young players navigate life's ups and downs, giving them the opportunity to develop both on and off the field. If you could inspire the next generation, search for the Erwin Mitchell Mentoring Club on Facebook to join them and make a positive difference to local clubs and their communities. And thanks for joining us on RugbyPass Offload, as always, with Ryan Wilson and Max Laheath. Obviously, a huge weekend of Six Nations rugby to digest. First, how is everyone? How are you feeling, Ryan?
All good, mate. All good. I had a week off last week, didn't I? Not really a week off. Just working, a lot of work. Build up to the England-Scotland game, and obviously a few little bits on. The whiskey stuff. Going hard with Wolf Craig at the moment, so just making sure I'm there, ready after rugby. You know, it's like Max. I've still got 6 years left in me, but you got to, you get a bit of time off. You got to make sure hours in.
Is that your dream retirement age?
Well, no, I'd say I'll retire at 40. I reckon 40. But look at Matt Gitto, 38. He's just re-signed in.
Yeah, but he's got like intangibles that don't require him to be physical. Do you know what I mean? You're a grinder. You're a meat grinder.
I'll find a way to do something less, and yeah, I'll be all right.
Matt Gitter reinvented the show and go, big fella. I'm with you there.
Yeah, I don't think. Imagine the knees in a line out at 40. Bloody hell.
Ooh,
especially the way all these pictures are going plastic. I'll be absolutely ruined.
You'll have those like Asics Healy ones. Do you know the ones with the Aussie boys always wear them? You're good for the knees, mate. You preserve the career preservers, career extenders.
They don't actually have studs, do they? It's just
they've got like little tiny blades, but they've got these massive foam heels, and you're like, mate, you look like you've got one leg shorter than the other with those.
It's not. I'm not there yet. But what about you, Maxie? How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, pal. Good. Can't complain. Great weekend out. Got it done against those barbarians from up north of the wall. And then, mate, how close was I? My prediction, by the way, can I just put that out there? But I reckon we should have got the Penno draw done. 20 all.
We'll get there. We'll get there, won't we? There was no chance. There was no chance there should have been a penalty. Well, actually, okay, yeah, I understand where you're going now. Yeah, I did. I thought it was going to be a draw for a bit. But I also could have seen the scoring. And what did I end up saying? 25-13. So
yeah, on a tuppence. It could have been in the end.
Did you say 2020, by the way?
25.
No, I said 25 all.
Oh, right. Okay. If you had said 20.
Yeah, but still, that's close.
Hold on a minute. Well, let's just say on predictions, for the first time ever, I'm pretty sure I predicted all three games correctly.
Max, you mentioned the good win. 4 bonus point victories in a row for you lads. Having to overcome 3 yellow cards, though. Bit of a manic afternoon.
Oh, my God. I've never seen both flocks go off that quick. And we got the Shepherd's Crook at half time, pre-planned. Don't worry, panic stations avoided. People, it was tactical.
Get that one in quick, so everyone knows.
Everyone knows, guys. It wasn't anything that I did. But yeah,
was it the whole front row that got?
The whole front row. Yeah,
so the other boys, Max, do you mind just dropping up into the pod straight off the bat for us, just so that we don't look really shit? Can you just tell everyone out there that we definitely had that plan?
Yeah, no, it was just tactical. It was beautiful. Brian Byrne, the Rhinoceros, back in form, and then obviously Jake Wilmore, the Ginger Warrior, doing his bits. But yeah, and then I was like, thank God I don't have to see out this 10-minute period because I was off. So the boys had to diffuse that situation in the engine room. We were just lockless. But we managed to maintain possession, burn the clock down, and get the W in the end. But it was a bit of a firefight. It was a loose game. It was good fun though.
The boys, speaking of predictions, last week we asked you to pick 3 players each from the England-Scotland match for your ASX picks. So to find out how you got on, we're delighted to be joined by the founder of ASX, Paddy Power. Paddy, thanks for coming on the show. Firstly, can you reveal to us how the 2 lads got on with their picks?
Yeah, I can indeed. Yeah, they weren't bad. Well, I think the best way to describe it is that, that the other players who played ASX at the weekend were just of a very high caliber. I think that's the best way to describe it. I'm not going to say the lads were to perform disappointingly or anything like that, but all that really mattered. What the great learning actually was that one of the best ways to play this blooming thing is to do it against somebody, a bit of competition, because there wasn't a huge amount between them. I'm being very kind to you there, Ryan, but Max did come out. Max did come out on top rather significantly this week. Well, and I'd be very interested to know, because I've tried to do it myself, and I was embarrassing, like where I finished in the leaderboard, and I thought I had a really strong strategy, and it just goes to show that I probably just don't know as much about rugby as I thought I did. But I'd be interested to hear, did Max have some sort of interesting strategy, or how you approached it, or was it just jammy?
I was sort of just going for more of the industrious players, but because I was my past experience of playing fantasy rugby in other tournament, like other competitions, which is exclusive to the Super Rugby competition years ago, was just the guys who got through lots of work, did the business. So I was just like, let's go for some metronomes that are consistent with England.
Well, it's funny because I tried to do the same. So I kind of went really heavy on the Irish back row because I thought they'd win that battle on the floor, and they kind of did. But Van der Fleer did very well. But the other 2 lads probably, I think you got to compare it to how the other back rows and the other matches got on as well. Do you know what I mean? So there is that kind of the other back rows in the team are on the pitch get on as well. So there's that to take into account. If it's one of those type of games, like the England-Wales or the England-Scotland game rather, was one of those kind of, probably not quite as high scoring as we would have expected. But yeah, interesting.
But I'm looking here, right? My 3 players were Duhan van der Merwe, Stuart Hogg, and Hamish Watson. Like, how? I think it's coming up as are they the most expensive players as well?
Yeah. They were, because they would have been expected to score high. Do you know what I mean? So that's why. So like, I've actually
because they're up against the English, who obviously aren't very good at the moment.
No, because the positions they play in the pitch, because they expect to be scoring and all that kind of stuff, right? And been up against England, it's obviously quite easy at the minute. But anyway, so the way to look at it, right? So we have the best performing players, obviously the French winger Gabin Villiers, because he scored the hat trick or whatever. So he earned loads, but actually he wasn't the best value player, because the best value player, if you work it out, say dividends per dollar spent on him. Right. So say there was actually also Kyle Sinclair actually was the most valuable player because he was so cheap to buy him at the start and he earned plenty of dividends. And then Tane Basham as well, obviously had to do loads of tackles in the Ireland games. That obviously earned him a few quid. So do you know what I mean? So you're looking at, kind of balancing your portfolio, I guess, or whatever. You're looking at trying to mixture. You want to score, you want high scoring players, but also you want good value players. So your cheaper ones, if you get a proper score to try or something like that, you're away in a hack,
Yeah, okay. And you want proper grafters in there, not just these flashy boys like Hoggy who touches the ball a couple of times, scores off it, but that's about all he's done. Do rucks hit count? Like
Rucks hit is like just part of your job. Like there's dominant tackles. There's like 6,000 data points.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I won't go through them all, but like it's all the obvious stuff when you're looking at a match, like looking at the match. So the big dominant tackles count in defense, turnovers count, obviously tries count, line breaks count, all that kind of all the good stuff. That all counts. So yes, I mean you mightn't get for doing your job, like for throwing a ball into a line out, the hooker mightn't get points. See,
Ryan Wilson would actually go well on this algorithm. He'd actually, this is his kind of forte. Neutral tackles, but a lot of them, a lot of tackles, low price, just get through the work.
It's like one of it's like any top player towards the end of his career. The numbers still look great, but you're watching him on the telly going, he's not as good as he was. You know what I mean?
And I'm getting to the end of my career here, Paddy. Hold on.
Hang on a second.
What is this?
We're both in the twilight, old boy.
All right, I'm already scratching out some of my selections because we're doing France, Ireland this weekend, and we're only allowed 3 players. And we're allowed to mix this week. I was only allowed to do Scotland last week, but I was fine with that because I thought that winning the game would have something to do with it, which I knew was going to happen. but it turns out that doesn't have an effect. So I'm actually scratching out a few of these people already.
Paddy, have you got some wisdom, advice for the boys ahead of this campaign for the ASX Sports app, so that, you know, rather than Ryan living on his wits and instinct, a bit of perhaps insight from your side?
So I think there's a couple of things to consider, just on learnings from the weekend just gone, right? And when you look at some of the stats, and when some of the stats nerds kind of dig them out, put them into graphs for me and all that kind of thing, which is a massive advantage that you lads probably don't have to look at. But so I think if you look at the top 10 value buys, I'll call them out. So Kyle Sinclair, I said, we have Tane Basham, we have Tommaso Monticello, we have Pierre Schumann, we have Andrew Porter and Bundy Aki. None of them sexy players, you know, in terms of who you'd be writing the name down. So what you got to think of maybe is, you know, certainly do invest some of your portfolio down the list at some of the cheaper prices, and just pick ones that you think might have an impact or whatever. And then, but then like the highest, the top 10 players, if you think someone's going to score a hat-trick, if you really fancy Scotland to do a job on them, or you really fancy France to do a job, whatever, maybe you got to stick in one or two glory boys as well. That might just be the ones to bang into things. But I think as you watch the game as well, the beauty of it is that you can trade and play. So as you watch the game, you kind of go, not sure today. Maybe it's not going to plan, or it's lash and rain or whatever. And it might just change your strategy. But I think a bit of thought, because I think, you know, many people who play it, who you'd be up against, will set their team, they'll do a couple of trades, and then they get stuck into the points or whatever. And then the advantage could be if you stay on it. Do you know what I mean? And you kind of you keep active on it, you know?
Well, these stadiums need to get some good Wi-Fi in them, because I tell you, BT Murrayfield was terrible for trying to get signal. So, mate, I couldn't make any trades during the game. So you need a bit of signal in there.
We'll have to deal with it. I think that was obviously the Wi-Fi, was it? Yeah.
I couldn't get on it. I couldn't get on it.
The Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. So, boys, can we reveal your three players from each side?
Well, I'm gonna stick in Dupont, even though he's going to be very expensive. But I'm going to stick something small on him, because I just think he's such an influential player, and he's my kind of insurance policy against. Like, I think Ireland will do well, and I think Dupont has a point to prove, because he wasn't great last weekend. So I think France kind of will maybe rely on him. If they're going to do a job on Ireland, then they need him to do well. So I've got Dupont in there as my expensive pick. And then for the kind of the more value ones, because I think you might get a bit of value because the match is pretty tight. I still think Caelan Doris probably wasn't as flashy as he can be last weekend. I think there's more improvement to come from him. And I also think Gary Ringrose is just in outstanding form. And the French, they were a little bit of an issue at centre. They're usually very strong. They're a bit of an issue at centre, so there might be some line breaks to be had. And so I think I'm going to put in Ringrose. I'm going to do Caelan Doris, and I'm going to do Dupont.
Interesting. Yeah. Who's ready? Max, you ready?
I like it. Oh, yeah, I think so. I'm going to go Gregory Aldrit for the French. I'm going to take Tyburn, because he's on absolute flames, probably the finest light lock come six in the Northern Hemisphere, potentially the world. And then I'll go with, do I go Josh Van der Fleer, or do I go Ringrose?
Oh, do you want... Mate, you basically picked my back row that I've just picked.
Have I? Okay, I'll go Ringrose as well. No, I'll go. You know what? I'll go Bundy Aki. He's on good form.
Okay. Right.
That's my three.
Just double check. Conan is fit, isn't he?
Yeah, yes, no injuries reported as far as I've heard so far. Yeah.
Right. I've gone Aldrit, Conan, and Van der Fleer.
Okay. Fully back row.
Heavy back row.
Well, we get through so much graft. That's back row.
Hardest position in the field. Back row.
The only ones that matter on the entire pitch. The back row.
But yeah, you know what I mean? We're undervalued. I think that. So yeah, I'm going for it. I'm going to back row. But
well, the one thing you got to say, it's very unlikely that any of those three are going to come off, isn't it?
Yeah,
they're probably the full 80, like
you do.
Yeah, but you were talking about Schumann. He just came on. He came off the bench, so I'm hesitant to put anyone that's not going to be. But then you said that his price rose a lot, did it, Schumann?
Yeah, well, as like when he came on the pitch, Yeah, sure. He was a very cheap price to begin with, so he obviously did very well when he got on the pitch. So he earned 2.3 dividends per dollar spent on him. So just if you break it down into like versus his price versus what he earned on the pitch, he looked like good value. But I mean, you'd only be picking him in play, wouldn't you? You wouldn't have been picking him beforehand.
Yeah, exactly. So that's interesting because we're going to get onto this in a bit. So there you are. We've had it from Paddy down here already that Schumann did really well when he came on the pitch, Max. So
now, bear in mind, I am literally the worst judge since Punches
but
so do not be taken
Schumann is very fit. All right. He had more impactful like carries and stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Is that the whole crowd was getting behind him? I was loving that. Does he get that when he plays for Edinburgh as well? He had like a beast jump.
I'll be honest.
No interest in Edinburgh.
I was loving it. Biggest
Paddy,
shorts in rugby, though.
Thank you for that disclaimer as well, that you are dreadful at picking players and then giving us your advice. That was fabulous.
My advice with a massive pinch of salt.
If once ASX then gets stuck into the URC or Premiership, can you now confirm right here on the pod that Ryan Wilson and Max Leaf will be the greatest value players that you could potentially put on your app at any point?
Well, 100%. I mean, that goes without saying, of course. And I wouldn't just say that just because I'm here. Of course not.
Or
That's very tough for a Leinster man to say that about a Glasgow player as well. So I appreciate it.
About Ryan Wilson. Brilliant. Well, I think we will get. We'll have the scores on that coming into the pods next week, and I think the boys are going to start. We'll keep getting this competition going because I really, really want to see the milk challenge from one of the guys. So, who would you prefer to see essentially drown themselves in milk?
It's hard. Neither's going to be pretty, but either would be funny. So I'm not sure because I think both are very likely to vomit, which is not something that I have to say I enjoy seeing. But there's a certain bit of Schadenfreude there. You kind of do have a little bit of a chuckle with it. So I'd say at the moment, I think there's a touch of advance about Max. Sorry, Max. I know you're here and you can hear me, but I just think he's just sitting there kind of going, I've done my analysis. I've got my stuff here. And Ryan's pretending that he's just kind of fumbling around, not having rashers when he's doing it. So at the moment it'd be Max, but I'm very fickle.
Fantastic.
If it is Max, I will put the warning in that he almost certainly will not be wearing many clothes when he's doing it. Just because, that's
wearing a swimming hat and stuff.
Are we going to do the cling film as well, or is that which one was that?
Everything. I'm going to get
cling filming back to back to each other. No, we're not doing that.
Oh, right. All I say is the stats are very transparent from round one. You can there's a plethora of data out there. We can get this.
Okay, that's what we wanted, engendering some of that competition.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Paddy, we're going to let you go. Thank you so much for your time. And guys, don't forget to get involved. All you have to do is download the ASX Sports app, completely free to download and play. So good luck to all of you playing this weekend. And Paddy, thanks for coming on.
Thanks, gents. Have a good one.
Cheers, Paddy.
Take care.
Cheers, man. Take care.
It's our favourite time of the week. It's Max's book club where he reads a passage from a former player's autobiography. Take it away, Max.
One time, I went on a bender that lasted from Friday night to Monday morning. The only reason I came home is I knew I had a surgery appointment at 11 a.m. I don't remember anything about the operation, except waking up, having my girlfriend crying next to the bed, and the doc really gave it to me, telling me I had so many drugs in my system, I could have died. It was a 30-minute operation, but I didn't wake up for 8 to 10 hours, and my girlfriend was crying. I knew what I was doing at the time, but it wasn't stopping me from doing it. My upbringing never equipped me with the tools to navigate my way through it. I struggled to adapt to being famous. How was a shy boy supposed to cope with that? That's not in the script either. And I had no one to guide me. So I found my own ways to deal with it by having a smoke before I went out for a couple of sleeping tablets to relax me. I was trying to take the fear away. I realized that I needed boundaries and discipline to be a better man. And I found that in my new faith.
I just want to clear something up. So this person was going in for an operation or had to go under surgery because of drugs.
I think he was just going in for an operation.
From a rugby injury, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy's...
I could do I could do a bit of a voice if you want.
Yeah.
Go on.
Which bit do you want?
My girlfriend.
I'll do the beginning.
When I woke up, my girlfriend was starting that one.
One time, I went on a bender that lasted from Friday night to Monday morning. The only reason I came home is I knew I had a surgery appointment at 11 a.m.
Oh, so he's a Kiwi.
That was very good because nailing the Kiwi Aussie differentials was pretty.
South Auckland accent.
Oh, very good, very good. Kiwi. Okay, we've got a Kiwi here. A shy boy. Hold on, and he's got a book.
Yeah, he's pretty. Yeah.
And he turned to faith because he wasn't going to wake up from his operation, and he turned to faith.
I didn't know it was more like he needed this. He was living a wild party boy life, and then he needed something to sort of discipline him, so he found a new faith.
I've got it.
Yeah, go on then.
Is it Sonny Bill Williams?
Boom! Good work, right boy. Lovely, Will.
Let's go straight to that Calcutta Cup victory by Scotland. Firstly, lads, what did we make of the match? Starting with you, Ryan.
Oh, listen, I talked it up all week. Everywhere I went, everything I did, said Scotland were the favourites, and I'm a very superstitious man, and I hate to throw that about, but I genuinely, as we said last week, believed we were the favourites, and I saw us winning. And I think the best thing that England could have done was take those points for the draw, because that's all they were getting out of that. That was a good result for England, but they didn't. And that's where I'm questioning that decision. I mean, is that arrogance? I don't know. Is that a mess up?
Do they despise Max Leahy so much that they refuse to have him predict a draw as he did? And they all obviously listened to the podcast and just said, we can't have the draw that Max predicted. Well, let's go for the win.
Why didn't they take the points why didn't they take the points when they went for the corner instead of they had George Ford on the pitch?
Yeah, and
instead of going to bring it to a draw, they went for the corner, and he kicked it. He absolutely shanked it as well. He made 5-10 meters on the right.
That's consequential in hindsight, but that sequence of scrums was pretty pivotal as well.
Yes, it was. But let's okay. We'll come back to the scrums. Let's go back.
Okay. Why didn't they do that?
What was the score? Was 2017 at that point? And I think there was maybe, let's say, 5 to 7 minutes left on the clock. Even that?
I'm not sure there was even that much. No. It was closer. I thought it was a bit closer to the end. But anyway.
Well, they still had the opportunity to kick the points, get the ball back, and try go again. But they didn't. They went for the corner, and they thought they could go and win the game. Do you not remember that bit, Max?
I can't completely recall that bit, no.
Yeah, so... And there was a lot of talk afterwards as where did the call come from? Because I can guarantee you, everyone's talking about Eddie Jones and how he made poor decisions with his substitutions, Marcus Smith, etc., etc. I think putting George Ford on, who's got 70-odd caps, in a close game at the end, get a penalty, knock the points because he's got a bloody good boot on him, was a good option. So suddenly, George Ford's there. He's got an opportunity to have a shot at goal, to bring it to a draw, to get the ball back and have a crack. But someone's made the call, go for the corner. I reckon it's Eddie Jones. I'm throwing out there. I'm 90% sure. 99% sure I heard Eddie Jones shout from the back of the stands.
So you're because any other sane player would be like, take the points in that side of the game.
George Ford 100% would have been like, go for the post.
He would 100%. No, you're right.
So, yeah, I just thought that was a crazy moment in the game where I 100% would have thought they would take the points. And that's where I'm questioning, where did the call come from? Is that a little bit of arrogance? No, it's not arrogance. Listen, stop throwing it. I've got to stop saying that word.
Yeah, you got to stop saying that. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah,
You've got a serious issue.
Yeah, I've got a serious issue.
You've got xenophobia on your heart. Yeah, go.
Not that. It is not that word. It's Overzealous.
Yeah, you're like Mel Gibson in Braveheart. I get you.
Yeah, overzealous. So yeah,
Okay.
but then, okay. Now go back to the scrum. What you're going to say? You think it was a penalty?
I just think the problem is the gravity of the situation, and perhaps looking back on it, the scrums weren't quite. There wasn't like something real red flag for the ref to just hang his hat on and be like, "I'm going to give you lot the draw," because he knows right there and then. But that's my only way I could see potentially that he's not doing that. But it looks like it's a penalty to me, man. In any other, it's more just the context of the game. He's trying to be so like on it by the book, whereas I reckon he throws that one every time, and like if it's not such a huge part of the result, in my opinion, anyway.
So you think that the ref shat it?
I think the ref. I also think, with the Cowan-Dickey Penno try.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay, hold on. You keep jumping on to other stuff.
Okay, sorry. We'll continue on the scrum chat. Talk to me about
the ref in the scrum, because I'm sitting. I mean, I'm not a master of the scrum.
But what do you actually think? What do you actually think as a neutral?
Walk around. I've seen all sorts of clips of not going forward. It's walked around, reset, walked around, reset. Ball's there, play it, get it out. Darcy Graham, unbelievable turnover. Scotland won the game. That's what I'm seeing. What are you seeing from the scrum that you would have given a penalty for?
It's a dominant scrum. It's gone down on that side, hasn't it? What, the third one was a walk round. I know what you're talking about, but I'm talking about the ones before that where he's reset it.
Right. You reckon that was...
Yeah, the one he reset. I'm not talking about the walk round. That's fine. I'm with you on that.
Good.
There's consensus here.
Good.
But the other one is fishy. That's fruity. Old W.P. Nell, hinging bar. But I can sort of... I just think he's got a bit nervous. He's like, I'm in Murrayfield right now. There's a lot of angry Glaswegians around me. Angry Edinburgh. What do you call an Edinburghite? An Edinburghian?
Edindonians.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Anyway, terrifying a Scotsman. High on what's that drink you like? Bucks Fizz.
Buckfast.
All that good stuff. Isn't that like a nice cocktail or something? Anyway,
Buckfast.
Yeah, but when you put all of that together, and for instance, Lawrence Dallaglio said that the ref got it right. Obviously, a lot of people disagree, but with the context of it essentially deciding the Calcutta Cup, the ref needs to be 100% sure, right? So the fact that you're both disagreeing, if you put aside your patriotic colours,
it's the right result, is it? Oh my God, I'm conceding. Right. Damn it.
Right. So let's move on to the other big decision then. What's your view on the Cowan-Dickey spike?
Is that okay, so he's thrown it straight out. Like he's patted it straight into touch. Yeah, we agree on that. I would say he's deliberately done that, yes.
Yeah, and forward.
And forward, okay. But
a deliberate knock forward, remember? So imagine Darcy Graham's the ball's not getting kicked, it's getting past him, and Cowan-Dickey's come out and pow. You know
it was a CrossFit. It was a CrossFit.
Yeah, I know, but let's say it was.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah.
You know that scene from Meet the Fockers where he
spike him. You gotta spike those fucker. You gotta spike those fucker. and he breaks that chick's just before a wedding. Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
it's like one of those puns.
Let's say he's had a Meet the Fockers moment, and it was a pass, and he spiked it. That's a penalty try. Am I right?
The thing I have with it is that if he does anything else other than do that, and he didn't need to do that, he was so like in front of Darcy Graham there, like easily. It wasn't like if he didn't do it.
I completely agree. He should have just caught it or tried to catch it or hit it backwards.
Yeah.
In a different direction.
So, but why does that result?
Because Darcy Graham, if he doesn't touch it or splat it, is catching the ball and going over and scoring.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be difficult here. I'm trying to find an argument.
No. It's good. It's good to do that. But I genuinely think.
Shouldn't it just result in the player getting carded and then there should be a penalty there? I don't think it should be a penalty try because there's still that's not a simple skill execution. And my guy here is right in the middle, especially for myself. Anyway, maybe for Darcy Graham it is, but that is where the cleverness of Finn Russell's come in. I mean, he's taken that ball and he's put the crossfield to Duhan van der Merwe the other side, right? Who's tracked out the field, and then he's got it straight again. How many tens do you see that then take it again and just go, oh, crack, I'll do it again? He spots Darcy Graham, he looks out there. I'm guessing he's seeing the front row run back, blowing out their hoop, thinking, well, that's a bunch of front rows there. Whoever it was, who was on the Marchment was tracking over, trying to cover what was happening over here with Duhan van der Merwe. Finn's going to have spotted that and gone, well, he's gone. There's 3 front rowers over there. This is going to be hilarious. I'm going to put another crossfield over there and let Darcy Graham go for it. So smart play from Finn Russell. Bloody smart play. Knowing, you know what I mean? You don't see that much. Executed it. No, I agree.
And but yeah, I'll agree with you. I thought in the game, maybe it's just a penalty.
Try, I don't know if it's a penalty try.
Yeah, but the more I've looked at it after and try and work out, well, if that was a pass, then you can't spike it forward if someone's going to catch it and score. So I treat it the same.
Guys, if it was a regular league game, right, take away the intensity and what it meant. If it was just one of the, your regular league game that you guys are in, that happens, and you see a guy, from your perspective, do something like a professional foul on purpose, trying to knock the ball on to stop a scoring motion, would you then be completely up? Would you be up in arms if the referee gave a penalty try? Max?
Honestly, I've never actually seen that in a game.
Hold on. Did you see how he bloody landed as well?
Mate, my coccyx was so bruised watching that. I was like, my God, that looked awful, didn't it?
Like taking the wind out of you, like the problem.
Yeah. Like one of those accordions. Yeah. Oh, mate.
Right. Well, Sir Clive Woodward has responded to defeat by claiming Eddie Jones is getting an easy ride because of a massive weakness that means no one at the RFU is actually qualified to hold him to account. What do you boys make of that?
Like, surely there's someone there. That's a really outrageous shout. Like, where's he getting that from? I mean, he must have an intimate understanding of the RFU hierarchy, I suppose. But is he saying that because Eddie Jones is like the scariest man ever? Like, where's
I think he's saying it because he's not getting the results. Well, I suppose he is getting the results. He's
done pretty well.
Oh no, hold on. No, where did they finish last Six Nations? Max, where did they finish?
They finished 5th.
They did finish 5th, and they've lost the opening game. So listen, I think it's too early to be saying that because you've got to see where England go. Very different team to what we've seen before. They're going to obviously blow Italy away. But hey, Mark, ask us that question at the end of the Six Nations and we will be able to say if we agree or not. But at the moment, I mean, autumn tests are a bit. Did they have? Who did they play on? They did well.
They beat South Africa.
South Africa, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
No, I agree. No. But Clive's always been a massive critic of Eddie Jones. That's the thing. That's the problem here. It almost seems personal.
He wants, essentially, boys, he wants these questions answered now, and we'll go through them and just give a quick answer from your perspective.
Okay, this will be fun.
Let's try and answer them first. Go. What was going on last week with England claiming they were the underdogs?
Head games, sports psychology.
Definitely agree with that.
Yeah,
100% didn't work at all. Puts
the press or attention on Scotland. Yeah, fine, go.
What was the rationale behind Eddie Jizzle's ludicrous substitution of Marcus Smith, a front row that were going so well? Our friend of the show, Lewis Ludlam, who's probably the pick of England's back rows.
Who came on for Lewis Ludlam?
He brought on Don Brand at 6, I think it was.
Yeah, but absolutely tearing it up. So
yeah,
listen,
impact.
Again, Marcus Smith, I've spoken about it earlier. Put George Ford on, tight game, 70-odd caps. He's going to finish off a game.
High IQ.
Good decision. And again, Don Brandt, unbelievable. Probably should have started the game, I think. But get him on the field. He's going to carry some ball and get through some work. So no, I don't think that's a mad decision at all. But to put George Ford on and not go for those points, that's a mad decision.
I think front row wise, you don't lose too much. You don't lose too much scrum time in terms of the technique. Like Joe Marler's probably a better scrummager than Ellis Genge. Ellis Genge is more of sort of prolific carrier, loose player. And then and then you've got Jamie George, massive amount of experience already. Will Stewart's, he's absolutely solid as a linchpin.
Okay. Next one. Why do we persist? This is from Sir Clive Woodward. Why do we persist with this nonsense that the replacements are finishers? These finishers, once again, merely finished England off.
That's it. How many times though have international benches won games for teams? Do you know what I mean? It's such a hindsight sort of thing to say. What? So play everyone 80 minutes? It just seems a bit petulant in my opinion. That seems a bit emotional to me.
Yeah, agree with that. That is an emotional reaction, and you need substitutions. And if you didn't have substitutions,
it's a tough game. Yeah, boys would be dust.
Why the organisational shambles when Luke Cowan-Dickie got carded? You need a specialist hooker on the park for any scrum and line out. I could scarcely believe my eyes when Joe Marler was left to throw in at a crucial line out, bungled it. It was so unprofessional. Detail is everything at this level. Yeah, no,
this was quite an interesting one, wasn't it? Because if I'm getting this right, they brought Sam Simmons back on instead of bring a replacement hooker back on.
If you go to a line out though, and you haven't got the hooker on by that point, you can't bring a hooker in, can you? You have to go through the line out.
No,
it's not like a scrum.
But what he's referring to there is they brought Sam Simmons back on
instead of a specialist hooker.
Right, well, we'll just wait until we get a scrum to bring our hooker on, whereas they should have just chucked a hooker on, who was then going to be able to. And again, and I'm not just saying this, Finn would have picked that up and known he's putting those balls in behind. Make sure you kick the ball out. They would have been getting messages down saying, put the ball out. They haven't got a hooker on the field. And then, to be fair, that's something we've spoke about before. What do you do? They would have had that planned already. That wouldn't have been them on the pitch with Joe Marler saying, right, do a wrap around. I'm going to hit you at the front. That would have been planned. But yes, I agree. That wasn't very clever from Eddie Jones not putting a hooker on. But then you can't tell. No, you can tell. Yeah, you could have known that there was going to be a line out at some point.
Yeah, you 100% you could. So we agree with Clive Woodward on that, but we don't know Joe's fuller. Do you not have a guy for you as a captain? You've definitely got some protocol. Who's your next hooker in line after all your hookers get binned?
Yeah, I've been up.
Are you the guy? Yeah, you're up
been
there.
Up there. We did it the other day when I was on the field and Ali Price did it, but we hadn't planned it. But yeah, most teams will have it planned, won't they?
Yeah. Like John O'Fo is a gun with the darts, but you never know it, would you? But that's what I'm just saying with Joe Marler. I know it's international rugby and all that, but he might be an absolute fiend with the darts. He might have played a fair amount of hooker. But I agree with you.
That's pre-planned though. That is pre-planned because they would have said, right, we're doing this wrap around. Then what happens? Obviously, that pod follows them back, goes up to try and compete because you're trying to take away the front with someone wrapping around. It was just terrible execution.
Yeah, execution. Yeah. So we'll give Clive one there.
We agree with you, Clive.
Alex Don Brandt, we mentioned it. Who, from Woodward's perspective, is England's starting number 8 for him. Why was he asked to play blindside flanker when he came on for Ludlam?
Well, I suppose we've answered that. Sam Simmons is at 8. You don't really want to start shifting him around positions. He would have been told you're on the bench, you're covering 6, 7, and 8, I guess. So wherever you come on, you slot in. You don't start moving other people around. That's probably what I'm saying to that.
I feel like 6 and 8 are more interchangeable, aren't they, really? Let's be honest. I think as roles in today's game, they're quite an interchangeable position.
And I wouldn't put, if you look at it, 6 is more a line-out dominant position, and Sam Simmons, I don't think you'd see in the line-out, and Don Brandt, maybe you would a little bit more, probably a bit taller.
Max, above everything, you're an England supporter as well as being obviously a rugby player. Right now, is he the right man to lead your side?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's still early days in terms of the new team he's got in. I'm pretty sure England's as successful as it's ever been in terms of a win percentage. They've done very well under Eddie Jones. I think it's like round one against a very good Scotland team at Murrayfield. It's kind of easy to throw the baby out with the bathwater, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree with you though, Matt. So I think it is too early. Like we just spoke about it there. It's far too early to be saying it. It's one game and
a lot of new players, a lot of new.
Like I'm not judged about it, but genuinely, that's mate. I reckon if the weather had been better, it would have suited Scotland even more as well. I think we would have torn up with that backline. I genuinely believe. So I think
the weather helped.
Okay. He's just come up against a world-class Scotland team.
Okay, sorry. Okay, right.
I know I smile off that, but I am deadly serious.
Deadly serious. Yeah.
Okay, boys, let's move on to a fabulous victory from Ireland against Wales, getting their campaign off to a flyer, really muddering the Welsh. 29-7 in Dublin. Actually, probably quite a flattering scoreline for the Welsh in the end. Let's go into some of the controversial moments. Max, quite a lot of people asking how Andrew Conway's try was given. What did you make of it?
And he hasn't made a double. He didn't make a double movement, and it's rolled sort of whilst it's under pressure under his arm. I just think it's sort of like I get why it's a bit contro, but I quite like that he was just like, yeah, give it. Yakko's gone executive and been like, that's all good. I think it's fine. What do you reckon? Right.
Yeah.
There's no double movement. There's no double movement. That's
no double movement. Ball's down.
They said under control. It's under control.
Is it under control if it's moving like that though? It is, isn't it? It's still under control.
It is, isn't it? I'm
needing it.
My guy, I'm under control right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And but it's it's
close.
You can't really see where the line is, but yeah, just
it's on the line. It's on the line.
Yeah, it doesn't.
The first when he goes to place it, it's not on the line, but the momentum of the tackle and his body traveling over the ball rolls it over the line.
Like a fine DJ. Yeah, no, give him it. It doesn't really matter, does it? Who cares?
You know, I can't start. Yeah. You can't say those things when you do your reviews, Ryan. When you're like, no one gives a shit.
Yeah, but hold on. Like you said,
he's talking about in the context of the game.
What was
right? yeah, he's talking about as a result. Yeah,
29-7, and it shouldn't have been 7. It should have been 29-0, really, because it was just a bit of a fluky runaway try. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying who cares. Who cares? Just get the next question. I'm saying, who cares?
All right.
Thank you.
So, Ryan,
you understood.
I understood.
So, right, Josh Adams, let's go to that moment, making no attempt whatsoever to go for the ball, decking Johnny Sexton with his shoulder. Were you surprised in this day and age you didn't see red?
No, I didn't. No, I'm not surprised I didn't see red, but it was bloody stupid, wasn't it? That was like another just mad moment of like, oh no, I'm not going to get the ball. I'll just take him out. What was he thinking, Max? What was he thinking?
I reckon, mate, that was a tough game for him, though. Like international rugby outside centre from the wing.
Yeah,
it was just a tough ask, and I reckon there was just frustration, etc., coming out there, and my man just lays him out. But yeah, there was a bit of like, he went red. Get back in the blue, chap. He's done him in. Yeah.
From your perspective, put it out there: a great Ireland side with a great performance, or a absolutely dreadful performance from a less able Welsh side.
I think it's a bit of both. Yeah,
a little bit of both.
Yeah, a little bit of both. I think Ireland right now just look ridiculous, especially up front. The dynamism they have from every position is outrageous. Like that starting lineup, they're all freak shows, like crazy athletes. The ball speed's so fast. You're feeding a guy like Sexton, mad IQ. It's all happening at the wrong time as always of Ireland. They just peak at weird times, but they're peaking so well right now. They look absolutely class.
Yeah. You know, the most impressive thing about them is how like they can get around their corner and absolutely knock it away. Like, and Wales couldn't cope with it. Just on the back foot, exactly. And then suddenly you've got someone like Ty Furlong getting right to the line and pulling that little ball back to Sexton. Oh, mate, they've got no hope. Like the defense has no hope. They're constantly going backwards. He cuts that line, gets in that hole that he always gets in. You've got people like Mac Hansen tearing it up, throwing the ball about, little loop passes over the top. Conway just walking, tries in.
Yeah.
I completely agree. A bit of both. I think Wales' defence was pretty poor. And Ireland, even as we heard in this pod, old Paddy Power, he's got another thing or two telling us that Ireland haven't hit their straps yet, which is scary to hear. Scary.
Can we predict, please, round 2 of the Six Nations?
I'm going to get a pencil and jot my ideas down here. Right, who we got first? Give us the first game.
Let's start with the big one: France versus Ireland.
Well, that's not the big one. It's actually Wales versus Scotland, but and I'll call it
Ireland at Paris. Ooh.
That is so hard to call, isn't it?
That's hard. That'll be testing the chops of this Irish team. We'll know for real if these boys are ready to, if that's the kind of piece.
God. What are you going to do, Max? What are you going to do? Come on.
My gut tells me Ireland have got it.
Yeah?
Yeah. But it'll be tight. It'll be within a score.
But give me a score, please.
I'm thinking.
Original thought.
What's the weather in Paris?
Lovely. Just say it's lovely. I'm going. I've got it here.
If it's raining again, it'll be.
Boys, it's looking 8 degrees, but potentially a bit of cloud, but not a huge amount of rain.
Okay, I'm going to go 23-17.
To Ireland.
Yeah.
And I'm going France 17, Ireland 14.
Oh, I like that. That's good. We're both in this. Well, yeah.
So yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, mate, I forgot to say how good's Waukee, by the way?
Mate, amazing.
Mate, I remember freak show. Actually, he's in my team. Sorry, I forgot to put him in. But yeah, unbelievable player.
Yeah.
My God.
But also, like, unheralded, under the radar. I think he's got like 3,000 followers on Insta. Like, as in, he's not.
Oh, mate, he's so good at rugby. Freak show.
That's good. You've both gone with different opinions on that one. Let's go to the one Ryan is deeming the big one in the Principality, Wales versus Scotland.
I'll go first on this. Hopefully they close the roof. And I reckon Scotland 19, Wales 9.
No tries for the Welsh boys.
Well, no, you're right. There isn't maths. Not my strongest point, but yeah, you can say that 3 penalties.
I can't see. I really want to. I'm trying to see a way it happens for Wales. I'm like, it's going to happen. I might go with them anyway. I'm going to go with my heart on this. Not my brain, with my heart.
Yep. So?
I'll go for I reckon a shell-shocked Scotland under bread of heaven, under the barrage of bread of heaven, with a 12-6 grind out.
You reckon Wales win 12-6?
Yeah. He's not believing it.
Have you seen our backs, mate? No, yeah. I'm changing mine. 19-12. I reckon they're going to score 4 penalties. 19-12. Scotland, 19-12.
I reckon those Welsh. Yeah, I'm going with it.
Oh, Steve Candy. He's Welsh. He knows them inside out. No way to go.
Okay.
Matt, this is good. Oh, Max, you've got the next one. You've got to go Italy then, just to keep it real.
I just had to fight you on these, yeah. It just makes it interesting. I've just got to play devil's advocate. Okay,
the next one, obviously, England, Italy. We both agree England are going to trounce them. It's just by how much?
Okay.
Oh, I mean, wait, honestly, Mark, what is Mark thinking? Give us
no. I have no opinion. All I'm saying is, genuinely, as a Frenchman watching last week, I was somewhat surprised that they were actually very, very competitive for most of the game. Not in that sort of Italy way.
Yeah,
France weren't brilliant though. France was just sat in like second gear, just like, oh, come on, hurry up.
But it's shit weather. What's the weather in Britain? Let's see. Hopefully, let's go Rome weather next week.
Is it?
Is it? Oh fucking hell! No, it's fine. Oh no, it is. It's raining. 16 degrees and raining on Sunday.
Yeah, but that's not good for them. I'm going England 38, Italy 12.
Well, and finally, boys, can we get your combined starting 15 from round 1 of the Six Nations. Ryan, hit us up.
Oh, hold on a minute. I'm doing the backs and he's doing the forwards, is what I've been told. So I'm pretty sure we start with Max, unless Max needs some more time and I can then start with the backs.
No, I've got my 15.
Bloody hell, that was quick for someone that started at the beginning of the show. Okay.
Lacking a certain je ne sais quoi, just because I just thought it was a bit of an underwhelming game, that one. But anyway, I'm gonna go Caelan Doris as my 6, or should I'll go numerically, sorry. Andrew Porter as my starting loose head. Number 2, Ronan Kelleher. Number 3, Carl Sinclair. Number 4, Tyke Byrne. Number 5. Who do I have here? Sorry. Ryan. Number 6, Doris. Number 8, Fagerson. And number 7, Basham.
Bloody hell, Welsh player made it in there.
Yeah, but I was like, he was very, very good. I thought he deserved it. Either hit or Basham or Ludlam. I thought Ludlam was very good for England as well.
Yeah, it was a strange one when they pulled him off, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good pack. I'm glad only one Scot made it in there.
I was gonna put both the Fagersons in. I thought Sinclair had a stronger game in the game, in my opinion.
Okay,
but Zandy was very good.
Yeah, it's quite hard, isn't it? Because you think you go and say, right, which teams played well, or which teams won. But I suppose it doesn't really matter who won, does it? Because that England-Scotland game,
it could have gone either way,
60,
big fella.
Yeah, for 50 minutes, Scotland just defended. Right, well, I've got a bit of a dilemma at 9. I was going to put Pricey in there, but after I saw him and his bunny rabbit in the newspaper, oh mate,
it was in the paper.
Mate, he's gone and done an article with the Times, and it's him and his missus sat on a sofa with the bunny rabbit.
The bunny rabbit,
what, like a OK Hello magazine shoot.
OK Hello magazine with a fluffy bunny rabbit.
Full shot noodle.
Yep. With that bougie gangster rabbit. No,
it's a push to put a dog in that sort of thing, it's like listen, we're going to make a conscious effort here. We're going to let the dog sit at the foot of the sofa in this shoot, but they've made the conscious effort to bring just leave the rabbit in the cage. Don't make it about the rabbit.
You may regret that article in years to come.
Well, yeah, he should regret it
just
now
the photo
as well. So it was good, but I've not got many. I'm trying to do it even as well.
Yeah,
so
you got to get a tourist magazine in there.
Yeah. So I'm going Dupont.
Brochure.
I'm going Dupont. It was good. He was solid. Dilemma at 10 is between Finn and Sexton. I thought Finn really control the game really well, kicked really well. People were saying, they wanted the magic from him, but he controlled it, weather conditions, etc., really well. And a little shout out, don't usually do this, but Sexton was, mate, how good was Sexton? Just solid.
Very good.
But I'm still going to go for Finn because we need some Scots in there. So we're going Dupont, we're going Finn Russell. I've got the centre partnership of Aki and Ringrose, outstanding. I thought they were really good all game. Villiers on one wing, obviously, hat-trick, mate, outstanding. And then I've got to go for Matt Hansen on the other wing because I thought he was brilliant. Like, he almost plays as just every position in the back line. Usually you see wingers just hanging out there, waiting for the tries. But mate, he's doing absolutely everything on the field. So I'm putting Matt Hansen in there. And then the almighty Stuart Hogg, Scotland's saviour. He was brilliant again. Just a good leadership man in there as well. So put my old mate Hoggy in there as well.
Sadly, that's all the time we've got left for now. Thank you for listening. Do make sure you like and subscribe. And a huge thank you to Ryan and to Max. And everyone enjoy round 2 of the Six Nations. And we'll see you all next week.